We want change. We want change. We want change. We want change. We want a change.
The sound magician. Wi-Fi on the beat, boy.
Twakupele voting atawa bomba Twakupele voting atawa bomba Tawali mone voting atawa bomba Tawali mone voting atawa bomba Pantuno mwaka Kuya bebele Twanakane mwe Mwachira mobufi Kuya bebele Twabonele numa Kuya bebele Mwachira mobufi Mwalitula ile ona lebwa timukesa tupangira kwemisebo Wali mipele nevoti atimukesa tupangira kwemisebo Nimwewo mwatile mukesa tukulira nechipatala ifwe Nimwewo mwatile mukesa tukulira na masukulu kuno Ukutula potwa misalila ifwe Mwalitula baona lebo Imisebo ala yagonaika Ichipatala takwaba kuno Abana besu basambilila mufimuti fya mango Bana mayo mapapira mungande Zipatala takwaba kuno Imisepila chose malofwa Bapepa tebange Fama lelilo mufunda tawafika Nembu tota shafika Ukutula potwa misalila ifwe Mwalitula baona lebo Nomba lelo mabwela imwe Mulefwa ya tumivotere Twakupele voting atawa bomba Twakupele voting atawa bomba Tawali mone voting atawa bomba Tawali mone voting atawa bomba Pantuno mwaka Kuya bebele Twanakane mwe Mwachira mobufi Kuya bebele Twabonele numa Kuya bebele Mwachira mobufi Uno mwaka tulefwa yabakutubombera Nocha bakwisa kuno mukuzembereka Mukutwibira mano nga twabavotera abaya Nangu mwatupele ndalama tulepo katatwa mivotere Nidonti kubeba wapoka walya Nidonti kubeba wapoka walya Ababina chimu na mwekole uko bafuma baliraba Bayi kutapiza bala boko bafuma Bayi kutapai bala bati bakabwela Baja chikini nena mabanu inapana kaso Wala ona lebo mula beja Ukutula potwa misalila ifwe Walitula baona lebo Nomba lelo mabwela imwe Mulefwa ya tumivotere Twakupele voting atawa bomba Twakupele voting atawa bomba Tawali mone voting atawa bomba Tawali mone voting atawa bomba Pantuno mwaka Kuya bebele Twanakane mwe Mwachira mobufi Kuya bebele Twabonele numa Kuya bebele Mwachira mobufi Pantuno mwaka Kuya bebele Twanakane mwe Mwachira mobufi Kuya bebele Twabonele numa Kuya bebele Mwachira mobufi Pantuno mwaka Twanakane mwe
The sound magician.
Good day and welcome to today's program. Today we are privileged. We are hosting Honorable Muna Zulu. Remember, he was recently incarcerated for what we call speech offenses, matters that many organizations have been citing Zambia against, that Zambia is abusing human rights, that it has criminalized speech offenses. Muna Zulu didn't steal, didn't commit any other crime other than express his views in Parliament, and when he expressed his views about other matters, and the country has criminalized speech using Cybersecurity and Cyber Crimes Act, and it has even relieved those old laws, seditious laws that we last saw in the 60s and 70s. They are now commonplace under President Hakainde Hichilema. Although President Hakainde Hichilema has outlawed criminal defamation of the president, it has been rebooted, reinvigorated under the cyber crimes and cyber security laws, which were laws against cyber security and cyber crime, but instead they've imported speech offenses into those acts. Would like to congratulate the Zambians, especially the Zambian youths, that today was their day. Remember, we're commemorating Women's Day just on Sunday, and today we're remembering our young people who burden who shoulder and burden the problems of our country, because they are the majority in number, and therefore the problems, whether it's unemployment, the youth unemployment crisis we have, whether it's shelter, whether it's diseases, the burden is on the young people, yet they are excluded from decision making and running the country. And it was very hurtful for many of us to see a young, vibrant leader in Honorable Muna Zulu to be, subjected, disenfranchised, and they even took away his seat, Lumezi seat that he held. Let me welcome Honorable Muna Zulu. And Honorable Muna Zulu, welcome to today's program. And I'm privileged and thankful that you chose our platform to, before you go to any other media, you came to our media. So welcome back to society, welcome back to the struggle, and welcome to Zambia.
Thank you, Ambassador, and permit me to correct you in your preamble that I was incarcerated for my speech. I was incarcerated for asking questions. I merely asked questions. Those questions were never answered, and I went in. Asking a question is what was criminal, because there is a difference between asking questions and speaking. I posed questions where we had hoped that we'll get answers. Those answers were never given. Little did I know that asking a question is criminal. Though one thing is correct, I posed those questions from privileged grounds, and then answers were never given. Instead, the story is what everybody knows. I was in prison, and not only one prison. I had the rare privilege of being transferred to different prisons. I started with Chimbokaila, Mwembeshi Remand Prison. Then I was taken to Mukoveko Maximum Prison in Kabwe, Central Province of the Republic of Zambia, where Captain Solo was. And then a day before my discharge, I was taken to Medium within Kabwe. So I've had a real privilege of going to 4 different prisons. I've had a rare privilege of being housed by 5 different correction officer in charge, Mwembeshi 2, and then the rest 1. So it's been a rough ride, but I'm here.
We are grateful that the Lord has been merciful, has kept, your life intact. First thing first, like you stated, in one instance, you just asked questions. In the other, you were a whistleblower. You came across information that an act of corruption and bribery had taken place, and you were asking law enforcement agencies to pursue this matter. Instead of pursuing the matter, and instead of pursuing the suspects, they pursued you, and they ensured that you were jailed. But behind the facts that Zambians are already aware, sadly, the harassment, the humiliation, and the persecution followed you in prison. Just walk us through from the day they sent you to prison. We used to see those defiant pictures of you, but just walk us through your stay in prison. Hello. Honorable Zulu, did you hear my question?
Ambassador, permit me to mention that I was Lion's Den. I knew nobody in prison. Hello? Are you getting me? Yes, I heard your question. I was taken in a lion's den. All right? My prison was Lusaka Central Correction. Are we together, Ambassador?
I can follow you, although your internet appear like it's lagging, but hope it improves.
Ambassador, are we together?
Yes, we are.
Is technology failing us because of...
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Muna Zulu.
So remember,
I can see the internet is lagging behind where Honorable Muna Zulu is. Let me just take a short break and speak to the technician to understand that we are okay.
We have serious problems that need to be addressed. Unity cannot be there when other regions in this nation are crying foul. The Barossa Agreement, as you know, was abrogated in 1969 and removed from the Constitution of Zambia, meaning that that agreement now became obsolete. But the people are crying foul. Today, the remains of our late President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, for us who are Zambians, like for me, I don't even know where they are. That breaks my heart. A leader is supposed to be honest. A leader is supposed to have integrity. A leader is supposed to be humble. It doesn't take anything from a leader when you are humble enough to sometimes compromise so that right can be done. We are going into the elections on 13th August 2026, and yet our late president still remains in the freezer. That is heartbreaking. The man has a family. The man has a family of Zambia. We were far ahead of other nations. Talk about Botswana, talk about Namibia, talk about Tanzania. But today, when you look at Zambia, we are lagging behind. Why are we lagging behind? It's because of the faulty leadership. A leadership that cannot humble themselves. The Constitution of Zambia, the one that we are using today, is so obsolete, handed down to us by the colonial masters. If it's obsolete, we need to change it to be able to suit the Zambian people today. Zambians have suffered. It is enough. Let's have a leadership that is bold, that is honest, that has integrity. That is what the Council of Elders are calling for. Thank you for listening, and may God bless you all.
Thank you very much to all dear viewers that are joined us on this Youth Day. We are hosting Honorable Muna Zulu in his inaugural major interview before he, just after he left prison and found once again peace and freedom. Today we are hosting Honorable Muna Zulu. He went to prison for speech offenses, matters both the United Nations, Human Rights Commission, and other bodies have brought down the human rights practice ranking for Zambia. Zambia is now being cited, together with even war-torn countries like Sudan. We are at the bottom of human rights. And one of the victims that is regularly cited is Muna Zulu, whose offense was only to speak, and to speak only. He just spoke. In one case, he was a whistleblower. In the other case, he was he asked questions. Those questions lay criminalized. Remember, Zambia has abandoned and expunged from statute the criminal defamation of the president. But these have been reborn under the Cyber Security and Cyber Crimes Act. They've been reborn by bringing very odd laws. So we are hosting Honorable Muna Zulu to understand his experience and his future spot. It looks like he's back on the internet. Let me just go back to Honorable Muna Zulu. It looked like internet was failing us, but let's go on as my team, my technician, improve Honorable Muna Zulu. Just continue with what you were explaining, that when the magistrate put his gavel down and you were sent to prison, you were saying you were sent to the lion's den. Kindly explain those thoughts. Yeah, hello, Honorable Muna Zulu. Okay. Hello, Honorable Muna Zulu. Okay, we'll get back to him. Honorable Muna Zulu is out of prison. I can see he's had his haircut. You can see here he was with Chanda Kabwe, former JMMU national coordinator, who went to see him just shortly after he was released. And here he was with Makebe Zulu. This was the day that he was released. And Makebe Zulu, one of the presidential aspirants, rushed to see Muna Zulu.
Has made reference that they were suspended for absconding Parliament, were suspended for not being heard by Parliament without the privileges sitting to suspend us. Only the Speaker single-handedly suspended us for 30 days. Secondly, the hate speech is only applicable to the members in opposition when the Secretary General of the UPND calls an Bishop of Lusaka a Lucifer is not hate speech. When a Minister of Education calls the people of Luapula province as suffering from poverty of the mind is not hate speech. When I say I'm more intelligent than him, it's hate speech. Where is freedom of expression?
Has to kill you so that we slaughter you. Thank you so much. It's really, we are learning with shock that a former president in the name of Edgar Chagwaru, who terribly failed to manage the order and the welfare of this country, is busy manipulating himself to have issues of thinking he can come back to this country. Zambians are not docile. Zambians will never be taken back to areas where they cannot access freedom in the market. Zambians will not be taken back to an opportunity whereby even just boarding a bus wearing any party t-shirt was a crime. Zambians will not be taken back where meal allowances at the University of Zambia was scrapped off. Zambians will not be taken back where even just shaking a hand with someone who belongs to another political party, it was a crime. Lungu must watch his steps. Yes. He must watch his steps. I think Lusaka province and other provinces, you've tolerated that idiot for so long. Bring that man to Northwestern where we practice circumcision so that we take him into circumcision. We take him into circumcision. We are not here docile. People, the civil servants, we are not working. Because under the civil service there was a serious division. Ethnicity was the code of the day. Promotion was just wanted on because you belong to a certain political party on ethnicity. Is that what Lungu thinks he can take us back to? We will circumcise him. Yes. We are appealing to government. If there is opportunity for Lungu to come to Northwestern, please do it quick. Yes. Bring him here. Yeah. Bring him here so that we teach him a lesson. Yes. And you remember the time his mother cried when giving birth to him. Yes. We cannot be doing things like cry babies in a country. Who is Lungu? Who does he think he is? Does he want Zambia? Does he want Zambia? Please, we ask Mr. Lungu to consider himself as a statesman or face proper circumcision that he has never witnessed before. He will see us. And to the youths in Lusaka, we are appealing to you colleagues. Yes. Wake up. Wake up. If you don't have money power there, tell us, we come. Yes. As a province, we are very much ready to coordinate and bring the youth there in Shaka, so that we teach that third lesson. You cannot belong to a party of a behavior and is busy calling himself as a serpent. You can be a serpent, but there are eagles in this country. We are able to grab you off from the ground and take you in the high sky. We fight from there. Rungu, 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 wherever you are as you are watching this, this is Kokera Moses. I understand very well where you want to go. If you want to die from the hands of President Hakainde Hichilema, please spare Hakainde Hichilema not to kill you. Allow us to kill you. Allow us to...
Honorable Muna Zulu, the UPND members, like the ones you cited in the video, that have committed more of speech offenses, hatred, and tribal talk, and they've never been prosecuted. You were prosecuted and sent to prison. But let's go back to where you said the day the magistrate put his gavel down and sent you to prison, you said they took you to a lion's den because persecution followed you in. Narrate the story for us.
Permit me to mention that what I've gone through is not something that I would wish for anyone to go through. Let me also mention that I cannot blame friends, relatives, and brothers like yourself for having left the country. All right? We live in a situation where I can blame the previous government, the front government. They did one thing good by saying it's no longer prisons. They called it Zambia Correctional Service. When they migrated from prisons to corrections, they did not change the human resource to administer that correction because they're preparing people to be integrated back into society. So you've got the majority of the officers managing the correctional service, but with the mindset of prisons. So they still torture inmates, unfortunately. What the PF should have done when they were amending the law as regards to prisons, they should have gotten rid of all those that were employed under prisons and bring in a new breed that understands corrections to integrate people back into society. For a simple reason, you cannot have people leave prison with anger and then expect them not to cause problems. We have a crisis. Yes, the law was changed to corrections, but were the human beings changed? The answer is no. On that one, I blame the PF, because the moment they amended the law, they call it number 37 of 2021, they should have also gotten rid of all the old folks that were accustomed to torturing inmates. So what is happening now is you are incarcerated. The first day is very interesting. You'll be like Chimbokaila, for example. People still sleep under bunker beds. So each bunker bed has two underneath, and then there's nowhere to step on because the whole place is a sleeping space. And then you've got what they call an incubator. When you are sleeping under the incubator, it means the ground capitals are punishing you So sleeping under an incubator or the bunker bed is normal. And then there is no bed space. I was privileged to be in a cell of 107 people in cell 9 at Chimbokaila Ambassador, with one toilet but no shower. They lock you up at 16 hours and they can only open you at 6 o'clock the next morning. Look at the numbers: no shower, no space to walk on if you want to use the bathroom, which is a toilet, because there's no bathroom. You can't bath from the cell. And then the ceiling of the roof is concrete, so you sweat. And then when they open for you in the morning, that's a time you pray, sing the national anthem. You've got the open bathrooms where you can bath from. This is painful, Ambassador, I must mention. Knowing very well that someone may challenge to say, bring evidence, but you cannot build evidence in an environment that is so closed up. People go to use the bathroom, defect, bath, and then female correction officers are walking around you to see your naked hood. Every morning, a woman that's not your wife, not your girlfriend, just to come and walk to see your naked hood. Every morning. If you don't want them to see your naked hood, you decide not to bath at 6 o'clock, so that you bath after 9 when women have already seen your nakedness. And then you ask a question: how is this correction? You are being tortured mentally. On one hand, people are saying it's correction. But because of having fellow politicians in different locations, others are in Mwembeshi, others are in Kabwe, I was informed that, look, it's better you request for a transfer to leave Lusaka Central and go to Mwembeshi. I made that request not once, not twice, but the officer in charge, Lusaka Central, was or is quite a diplomat, kept on telling me, no, we'll inform you when you'll be transferred. So having had the privilege of working with Honorable Jack Mwimbu, I personally reached out and said, look, I love to read. I can't read in such a congested environment. Help me be transferred to a facility that has enough space for me to read books and have no problems being in prison. So that request was granted. I was moved from Lusaka Central Correctional Facility, which they call Lusaka Central, to Mwembeshi, remand. I moved to Mwembeshi. Ambassador, it's like a boarding school. You don't sleep, two of you on a bunker bed, no one sleeps on the floor. But then they bring an officer in charge whose intention is purely to torture inmates. I'm waking up to a rude shock that people have come to search the cells. I said, I don't think I've got anything harmful on me that will put me in problems with the authorities. Little did I know that he had set up a trap, because at some point he was very close to my family. No problems. Then suddenly, when my family stayed away from him, problems started. First, they told me having money in prison ends. I said, but you have a tuck shop. I buy bread, you give me change. How can me having change from the tuck shop be an offense? 2, you have got 54 cells. Each cell has a television set and people pay DSTV. It's not prisons or government that pays for our DSTV or Go TV or Topstar as you call it. We pay for ourselves. How is that a problem? Before I knew it, he creates a story that I had a cell phone, which I never had. He never allowed me to have access to my legal team, such that the Constitutional Court of 18th September of 2025 had me removed from the cause list because I couldn't communicate with lawyers. And then he goes further to create that fabrication that I'm a troublemaker, I'm inciting inmates to raise against the administration. How can a simple me, incarcerated, raise inmates to raise against administration? Then I realized to say, I will not die a cheap death. I'm going to put up a fight. I found means and ways to communicate with my legal team, and that's how we sued Zambia Correctional Service. In Mwembeshi, I was privileged. Ambassador, if whoever will come and say, I have told you a lie, we should put up one challenge. Can we move into these correctional facilities and host a public court for inmates to testify? How possible is it that we that are locked up have no access to buying a cell phone? We have no access to buying marijuana. How possible is it that, because I came to this drug called Mahatani, or is it Hatan? It's a pill. Also, I was in prison. But it is the most sought after drug in prison. So who brings that drug in prison? Okay? It can only be officers. Who brings marijuana in prison? It can only be correction officers because we don't go out. We have no access to anybody. Visitors come, they're searched. Then you come and say, he had a cell phone. If truly I had a cell phone, that cell phone for me. It takes you to cartels that are in prison. The current setup of our correctional services are such that if the officer in charge has 5 same officers working, reporting to him, loyal to him, they bring you a cell phone, even if you are safe. They bring you marijuana, 10 kilograms. You sell within prison, you are safe. Manhattan, you are safe. But I was never caught with any of the 3. I was penalized. I took time to read the Act. The Act talks of minor offenses and major offenses. Major offenses, sodomy, drug dealing, which they should take you to court and be persecuted for. But I was accused of having used a cell phone, which until to date, I never had. Genuinely, I used to communicate illegally because I needed to talk to my lawyers, but they never caught me with a phone. But so I realized to say it's a season where people create lies and believe those lies. Was officer in charge corrupt? Yes, he was corrupt. But where do you go and report such corruption to say, hey, if you check his transactions, you confirm that he was receiving money from this number and this number? We are living in a society where you who is a complainant is a victim. Then they transferred me to Mkobeko at 04, my fridge with my food, my TV. I don't even know if they ate the food or they sold enough food for my upkeep. I don't know where the fridge or he sold it, because one thing I realized is that correctional officers are amongst the least paid people. 90% of them survive on inmates. They've got no sense of shame. When one of them dies, they'll even fundraise from you inmates. Now, how do you fundraise money from inmates who do not work? Ambassador, I was transported to Kawe, where the grand total of inmates before I left was 1,409, where 90% of the inmates are serving life sentencing matters. Yes, Mukobeko is bad, but did they need to take me there as if I killed somebody, I cut short somebody's life? Yes, Mukobeko has its own problems, but I do not wish anyone to be taken to that place. Yes, there are some people that deserve to be there. Did I need to go to all these prisons? And the worst part is, a night before my discharge, I was transferred from Mukobeko to Midian, where I was given 150 kwacha as transport money to come back to Lusaka. Are we going to treat human beings in this fashion? Ambassador, I don't blame you and many others that chose the route you took. It's not a waste. Prison life is more expensive than being out. It is painful. You need to have a strong family, and then you need to have genuine friends. Ambassador, people should learn to say, yes, he erred. Before the facts, he erred, but we can't do this. This is inhumane. It is sad that I'm speaking and confirming that I've been to amongst the worst places under the face of the sun. But those who took me to these places, can they survive what I went through? 90% of them will commit suicide. I've come to know of riots that took place in prison in 2013. I've come to know that calling a minister is a crime when you're in prison. I've come to know officers that hosted the current president when he was in prison and are still there and are saying, you politicians, this is a face. Even these ones who are saving, who have brought you here, will find us, will look after them. How do you think like that? Honestly, what gave me comfort in my prison life, Ambassador, I'll tell you, was when I was given the Long Walk to Freedom book by Nelson Mandela. That book, on page 493, Mandela explains prison ordeal. He says, I detested corruption whilst I was in prison. But I always needed to receive a newspaper But for the prison warders to give me that paper, I had no option but to bribe. Their poverty was our opportunity as prisoner. He was with Ahmad Katraj and others. So then I realized I've got to know what is happening outside prison. I need to know what Emmanuel Mwamba has written. I need to know what Chair, the Voice of Zambia, has written. I need to know what Linda Banks has written. I need to know what Zambian Whistleblower has posted, Zambian Watchdog. What do I do? Compromise the situation. So, Ambassador, I must confirm and mention that you, amongst the many of your new followers, was as a result of our incarceration, because we read everything you posted. I think the last I read was what the Zambian celebrated academician Sishua wrote. He mentioned the 4 things that might happen this year. We read them whilst in prison. So we were not behind with information based on what Nelson Mandela said, that you have no option but to bribe somebody so that you're well informed.
Wow, thank you very much. Dear viewers, if you are watching us, we are hosting on this Youth Day Honorable Muna Zulu, Lumezi MP, who was incarcerated for what is now clearly just mere speech offenses that should not exist on our statute. If I offend you, I speak ill of you. What you are supposed to do is to sue me in a civil court. But in Zambia, speech offenses are criminal, and it's a state that takes you and then criminalizes. There is no fine, like in the case of Honorable Muna Zulu, you saw. Honorable Muna Zulu, your ordeal in prison, the harassment and humiliation was so bad that you decided to take a court action against the prison authorities, the correction facility authorities. Just briefly speak to that. And what compelled you? Because, as soon as you took that action, many feared for your life that the mistreatment will become worse because people have to protect themselves. I know this because I was beaten, my tooth was knocked out, they nearly broke my neck. But they brought a charge that had assaulted the police officer to hide the crimes they had done against me. So we also feared for you when you took that action. What compelled you to take that action against prison authorities for the mistreatment that they were subjecting you to? And just explain why in such a short period where you moved to over 3-4 prisons.
Look, Ambassador, it's very simple. You decide to kill me, and what should I do? Should I keep quiet? I speak out. Either way, I speak out, you kill me. I go to court, you kill me. So I said, okay, at least let me leave the record straight, because I was very certain that the guys really wanted me dead. So I didn't want to die a death where no one will document. The intention was there. Let him go 6 feet. But then on my side, I said, look, I'm in an environment where you cannot build evidence. And it will take me a lot of courage to instruct lawyers to take this route. It will cost me finances here and there. But someone should know what happened, because I'm a son of history, Ambassador. So that's what made me go to court. Whether the court process is slow, the justice is slow, I will not comment to that. The matter is still active before court. Maybe now that I'm out, it will help us expose a lot of these ugly ills. But the intention was that people should know, in case I die whilst I'm in, someone will know to say, no, 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 but he said it. I didn't want to die a silent death. Am I scared of death? No. Am I prepared for death? Yes. But am I prepared to die cheap, being assassinated because I'm incarcerated? No. The judgment had nowhere where it said he should be killed in prison. Nowhere in that judgment did it say that they should kill me in prison. In there, the judgment said hard labor. And that hard labor, whether it's free labor or not, is something that we are asking the court, because we've instructed lawyers to go to court. There is no free hard labor. That in charge gets paid under correctional service for all the works done by inmates. But why are inmates not being paid their salaries? You are convicted with hard labor, but you are never paid for your hard labor. We need the law to be harmonized, to say, yes, your hard labor is free hard labor, but where I stand and where I sit, it is free hard labor. But you see officer in charge using inmates to build their personal properties for their personal benefit. And then inmates are given 150 kwacha as transport money to go back to their homes. I was given 150 kwacha to move from Kawe to Lusaka. You go to Mwembeshi and investigate the biggest landlords, are correction officers. Where are they getting that money to build lodges? Where are they getting that money to build shopping malls? Okay, maybe shopping malls is linked to the urban guys in Lusaka, Central, Ndola, Kitwe. Mdadada shopping mall, that money is free labor. That labor that inmates provide is not even being provided for the convicting magistrates, not being provided for judges, not provided for the prosecutors. But officer in charge and correctional officers will tell you they have mdadada, and it's inmates building for them free labor, yet it is hard labor. So I pose these fundamental questions. Yes, I'm convicted for hard labor. I go and grow a garden for an officer in charge, his house, that he uses to feed his family, or he eats from that garden. Where then does that hard labor provided to the state go to? These are very important questions. But unfortunately, we are living in moments where I'm informed that asking such questions is also a crime. But it is good that people should know. Why should I explain having a farm to Anti-Corruption Commission proceeds of crime with a better salary than an officer in charge at Mwembeshi who cannot afford to buy a tire of his vehicle, but he should have more real estate than me because he uses inmates. When you, ambassador, today decided to build, let's just for purposes of example, ambassador, you want to build a boarding school, you can go to Zambia Correctional Facility. They will tell you each inmate you are paying 30 kwacha. Then they will give you 100 inmates. 100 times 30 kwacha is 3,000 kwacha. You pay and they give you a receipt. Inmates will be brought to your plot, they will work per day. But They go back and are never paid. So who gets that money?
Yeah, yeah.
There is more abuse.
Fundamental question, dear viewers, as you are listening, we are hosting Honorable Muna Zulu, fresh from prison, he's just walked to freedom. Honorable Muna Zulu, the correction service may argue that they actually treated you well. They may argue that they actually even allowed, like you've stated, a TV, a fridge, and therefore you were treated well. And when you were discharged, they gave you 150 kwacha. We know they are poorly funded, but they would say they gave you 150 kwacha. What do you say to that? Then the rider question would be, because you were harassed by government, because government was determined to take the seat away and to punish you, to silence you, did you connect the dots in any way? Did you feel the humiliation and harassment that you were undergoing in prison, which you even took a civil action against the authorities? Did you link it to the government of President Hakainde Hichilema? Did you feel you were treated as an enemy of the state because you had offended the president and these big, powerful ministers? Did you link the two?
Ambassador, I came to learn of one thing. These civil servants will create a narrative to win favors from the powers that be. My harassment, I highly doubt that had the blessings of the system. I'm convinced that the officers behaved in the way they behaved purely to win favors. But remember, in all these cities, you've got the UPND cadres and the opposition cadres. All right? Ambassador, there is something very funny that I'll mention to you, and I hope it will attract attention of the system. In Mwembeshi, when the facility has not provided mealie meal to inmates, and then inmates are only surviving on sample. What do you call sample? Sample is what?
Yeah, sample, yeah.
Sample, they don't have mealie meal, meaning their main food will be sample and mixing it with this kiola, whatever they call it nowadays. Then you see the whole prison playing loud music of Donch Kubela. All right? They're informing the authorities that they're not happy with what's happening.
They'll play opposition music.
Opposition music, yeah. That's very famous in Mwembeshi. You just hear, you go this angle, don't kuweba. This angle, don't kuweba. What's happening? Ukulibe unga batipasa sample. So it triggers the administration to quickly bring in a mealie meal so that inmates can have nshima. I never had that experience in Chimbokaila or Mkobeko or Medium. But Mwembeshi, whenever there is no mealie meal, the signal is don't kubeba. Because inmates are also registered voters.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
They are registered voters to vote from within the facilities. So they just say, no, this is our opposition. It's very interesting, Ambassador, but the faith and hope that these inmates have, Chimbokaila, Mwembeshi, Mukobeko, and Medium is the same. Remember that on Africa Freedom Day, ordinarily, it's been a practice in Zambia. There is what you call presidential pardon. On Independence Day, there is a presidential pardon. And Christmas Day. So even those inmates that have been sentenced to life imprisonment will pack their belongings a night before Africa Freedom Day and say, Maironienda kunyumba wa president wazanchose. So Africa Freedom Day comes, there is no pardon. Again, they say government in Yafek.
Honorable Munia, you've raised a very fundamental issue, the parole system in Zambia, where the president exercises, his discretion and leniency, and there's usually full discharge, or or partial pardon, or sometimes sentences are reduced, especially those that have huge sentences. Like, of course, now we no longer have death sentences, but life sentences, maybe they are reduced to 40 years or to 20 years, or many people are released. I'm glad you've highlighted that issue, that where every prisoner thinks that is eligible for parole, and they even pack, building trust that they'll be released. Is this process done fairly? Although, do you also think that this is subjected to unfair processes like corruption and favoritism? We understand sometimes that UPND cadres have been released on presidential pardon. Is it done fairly, the parole system in Zambia?
Ambassador, our parole system is not fair. Number one, let me take you to. Do you remember there was a time when our current Republican president mentioned at State House on a press briefing that Mozambique has helped extradite a dangerous criminal? He was hiding in Mozambique.
Yes.
Well, Uzani Banda. All of us were shocked. For me personally, I thought it was Kaiser Zulu. Weluzani was discharged on presidential pardon in 2021. But they took him back to prison.
Despite President Edgar Lungu exercising his presidential baton and giving him full pardon.
Yes, he's back in Mkoweko, serving a 10-year sentence. They were extradited him from Mozambique.
Wow, that's a very big announcement you've just made, because I think, like you've stated, Weluzan was released together with other prisoners, so it would be surprising that when he sought refuge in Mozambique, he was extradited and has not been tried, but the old sentence has been reinstated. That's a matter I think lawyers and others should pursue. But continue. I just caught my moment that's a major thing, especially that government did not release the details of this so-called dangerous person that they had extradited from Mozambique.
Ambassador, the presidential pardon of 2021 had Matthew Mohan, Chela Tukuta, the former member of parliament for Chilanga, and Weluzani. Keith Mukata. But Weluzani was brought back and is in prison.
Illegal. That's an illegality.
I've had the privilege, Ambassador, of being in prison with some Nigerian inmates that were convicted for financial crimes by the lower courts and abandoned their appeal processes and pardoned on Independence Day. Zambians not pardoned, but a Nigerian is pardoned and is out of the country at Mwembeshi. And then you ask yourself a fundamental question: was pardon meant for Zambians or for non-Zambians? And the lawyer representing Nigerian is one of the prominent personalities in this country. But because we are told when you speak too much, they are. Ambassador, that parole system is fake. It's a facade, because if there's an inmate who applied for that was myself, I served the sentence. I read the act. If I got an offense within correctional facility, I should have been given 30 days, but I was given 90 days. and in a security maximum facility. Ambassador, yes, some of you and many others called us prisoners. I agree, we were political prisoners. It was more expensive for us to survive than other inmates. For me to make a phone call that will cost me 5 kwacha, I needed to spend 100 kwacha. For other inmates, they would spend less than 20 kwacha. Now, what gave me comfort? I look at Honorable Ronald Kaumachitotela. Ronald Kaumachitotela is a Christian. He goes to SDA. He was convicted with 2 young biological brothers, an SDA. The head of the Fountain of Justice of the Republic of Zambia is SDA. That's a fountain of justice, SDA. Who am I not to go through what I went through? If Chitotela, who is an SDA, is going through with his 2 biological brothers, worse off, talk of Honorable Chilango in maximum, the only disabled member of parliament that we had, lost the wife, no post-mortem report, his father, couldn't attend the burial of his father. And then who am I, who is a Sunni Muslim? That gave me comfort. Because even when the world had Adolf Hitler, when Adolf Hitler went for 6 million Jews, the world called it the Holocaust. And they were quiet. When Adolf Hitler went for the Austrians, the world was quiet. Not until when Adolf Hitler went first. Then people reacted. So now, coming to my situation, I said, look, I'm the first Muslim to go through this challenge. So it's normal for the Muslims to be quiet. But my fear is they'll go for the Catholics, and then they'll go for their traditional leadership. Ambassador, that gave me comfort. If Chitotela and his 2 young brothers were not in prison, if Chilangwa was not going through what he's going through and he was in prison, I was going to break down. But just the fact that there is this family in prison and they're breathing. Chilangwa lost the wife and the father. He's disabled and he's in prison. His seat is grabbed. He's strong. Who am I?
Yeah.
That gave me strength.
Indeed, words, strong words. We've spoken about the case of Honorable, Chitotela and Honorable Nixon Chilangwa, the former council chairperson and the brothers. For that case needs to be looked at. We looked at it very extensively, especially that the magistrate should have, recused himself in light of the strong allegations that were leveled against him, and he was reported to the JCC, but nothing was done. It's a matter that brings sadness to many people, including your case. Before I invite callers, I just have 2 questions. Remission. We're all excited that you're supposed to be released 3-4 months ago. I remember even speaking to Honorable Jinch Senga, one of your dear brothers. The whole country knows you. You'll be with
my closest friend.
You'll be with Jinch Senga. You'll be, you were a kind of a musketeers, the 4 of you, with Emmanuel JJ Banda. So when you were about to be released, I kept on calling Honorable Jinch Senga because I knew she was checking up on you. And the day I called, she literally had just broken down and she was crying. She said they have actually even moved him away. Instead of being released, he's been moved from, Lusaka Central Prison now to maximum in Kabwe. She was so broken. I felt very bad. I was also broken. But when we pushed this matter, the authorities then brought up that issue that remission only applies where 1/3 of your sentence is removed from your actual sentence. You are only eligible to that if you had good behavior. I think that's where they even brought in the false charges of the cell phone. Is that the issue? And then when you answer that question, have we last seen Muna Zulu politically? So answer those two issues for me.
Ambassador, I must mention to you that remission is not an issue that is a favor. It's statute law. The drafters of the law knew why they said an officer in charge can only give you up to 30 days maximum. So it's not law, it's statute law. It's under Article 76 of number 21, number 37 of 2021. So I don't even understand why people want to debate this matter. What happened to me after having served my sentence was unlawful detention. That's simple. Remission is statute law. It's not a privilege of the officer in charge. It's in black and white. And that's why we're arguing before the High Court. I hope precedents will be set. Of course, I'll not benefit from it, but those that are coming after me could benefit when the law is pronounced. And then coming to your fundamental question, politically, is this the end of MZ? The journey has just started. Ambassador, I've had a rare privilege of living under the face of the sun. I buried my grandfather last year this time, who was my mentor, advisor. Last source of comfort was my grandfather, because my grandfather, even at age 99, he would pick up my call and advise. His advice was, can you be a decision maker? And I make decisions. I've made a decision. Yes, going to Lumezi and recontesting that seat is easy. Winning it is easier than winning it from anywhere else. But there are calls from Lusaka, and because of the distances, I had more visitors visiting me in prison from Lusaka. And then I've come to realize that there are some people that are serving the interest of the people of Lusaka to pursue personal goals, using their privileged positions to fix people. We are not given privileged positions to fix or sort out people. We are given privileged positions to help people. So now, I made a decision. Yes, I'll go to in the next few days to greet the people, thank the people, and inform them officially of my decision that I've answered the call from the people of Lusaka Central. Lusaka Central is where I grew up from. I grew up on Villa Elizabeth and Chishango Road. Where you people go to as Matebeto, it was our playground. Whether someone has another privilege of being called the minister, it is not his home. Whether he has a privilege of commanding state apparatus to harass people, it is not his home. I am only responding to the call of people of Lusaka Central. What I have also decided, Ambassador, taking advantage of your platform, is not to announce, to say which vehicle, because we have a problem as a country. And that problem can only be addressed by ourselves. The problem is that there are people that worked in the cabinet of the late Michael Chilufyasad. There are people that worked in the cabinet of ECL. And they think that if this one takes it, you ignore them. It's pettiness. You do not share buffalo meat before you kill the buffalo. So my decision, Ambassador, is I'm working with two brothers, Brian Munduvile and Makebe Zulu. These two brothers, I'm working with them. And then I'll announce the vehicle I shall use. There will be no any other vehicle I shall use that does not favor these two brothers. I cannot take sides.
In fact, let me use this opportunity to speak to this issue before I open phone lines. You were in prison. You met our colleagues that are in prison. We are calling them political prisoners. State House claims there are no political prisoners in Zambia, but many people find, because of the unfair processes, that these are clearly political prisoners. They have hope that the opposition will win this election. They have hope that the opposition will work together. So if you see, for example, the division in the PF alone, like you were saying, Makebe Zulu on one side, Given Rubinda on the other, and maybe Brian Munduvile and others, you have political parties that personally have tried to bring together on this platform. I've had the rare opportunity to interview over 25 presidential candidates. And I made one question to them. Can you commit that you work together with other colleagues? And can you commit that if it is not you, you will support the other? Because to lead, you should be able to accept that you can be led. But my work of 6 months, my work of hard work, like many Zambians many stakeholders that have tried to put the opposition together, somehow we feel that our work was futile because our colleagues in the opposition are bent and determined to go their way. We might have an avalanche of presidential candidates. I am counting maybe up to 13 candidates who we'll see when the process opens just in the next 30 days. Because in the next 30 days, each presidential candidate has to get 1,000 people, 100 from each province, and surrender them to ECZ. It will give us an indication of how many presidential candidates will come from the opposition. What do you... Maybe the call is more desperate, maybe if it came from people like you and me, who are in these very dire circumstances where we want the opposition to unite. What are your feelings about opposition and lack of unity amongst themselves?
Ambassador, I'm glad that you mentioned you started by interviewing 25, which partially I'll blame you because you want to create monsters where there are no monsters. Ambassador, there is no need to elasticate the number, the actual players in the... You have done a lot of image building for a lot of people. You were too ambitious, Ambassador, to think that you can image build 25 people. I'm glad that you've reduced the number to 13. And I hope my next interview, you would reduce the number to 4. I have a challenge with people that think that working together means they should lead. I've had a very uncomfortable position, privileged position of being in prison. Some of these things, if the worst happened and are incarcerated, inmates will roast them alive. Some of us survived because inmates were our friends. They were the first line of defense. Don't think that inmates are not informed of what is happening. They've got relatives who are visitors. They deliver messages every day. They are complaining every day. So, one thing I'm ambassador is that whether we have 13 candidates, the Zambian people will emerge victorious. I know it happened in Malawi, yes. I don't want to be associated to individuals. I want to associate myself to victory of the Zambian people, and the Zambian people will eventually emerge victorious. Yes, you may try to propagate, to image build all of us, including myself. But is it really necessary? Can people understand the law of the season? If it's your time, it is your time. If it's not your time, it's mine. It doesn't mean that if I cannot have buffalo offers, then I've not partaken in that buffalo meat. Let's kill the buffalo. Are we sure that the church has failed to unite our brothers? Are we sure that the traditional leadership has failed to unite our brothers? The answer is no. It is this perception we are creating on people that should ordinarily not even be given a platform. Because we're in a dire situation, Ambassador, we must accept. Not everyone can be president. We've seen even today, Youth Day, I've been following what's happening throughout the country. It's giving us a certain direction. You cannot fight nature. One thing that I know for a fact is Zambians have decided who they don't want. So why should we confuse them more by saying, no, we have 25 candidates, 13 candidates. Let's unite the two front runners, and then we move in as a united front.
Do you have the two front runners?
Are you there, Ambassador?
Yes. Do you have the two front runners? Oh, is somehow frozen? Oh, okay, he's back. I'm saying, do you have the two front runners?
For me, from where I sit, it's Brian and Makebi.
Ah, okay, wonderful, wonderful. So we, dear viewers, it's time for you to call and let me hear from you. The lines are open. We are hosting. Just a minute, Honorable Muna Zulu. Just a minute. So we are hosting Honorable Muna Zulu. He has just walked from Freedom, and this is his first major interview that he's giving. To your knowledge, Honorable Muna Zulu, we conducted a poll. I think one of the most credible polls I have seen. It was on this platform on EMV. We had 800,000 views. We had 60,000 votes. We had 3,000 calls, and we had 42,000 separate votes to the 60,000 votes. And I think I've never seen such a large sample size. I had, out of the 25 people, I'd picked the top 7 who I feel will be among the front runners, and among them was John Sangwa, Fred Membe, KBF, Brian Munduvile, Given Lubinda, Harry Kalaba, and Makebi Zulu. And in the subsequent races, the 4 became top, the 5, Makebi Zulu, Harry Kalaba, Brian Munduvile, and Honorable Fred Membe. And the 3 top ones shared the votes. When we included President Hakainde Hichilema, he won the Facebook poll. Makebi Zulu won the online poll, and Harry Kalaba won the phone line polls. So somehow we have what we feel from the perspective of this platform, that we somehow have among the top 7, the top 3 that are doing very, very well. Let me open, but before I open the phone lines, I saw you agitating. You wish to say some things quickly before the lines are buzzing. People want to ask you questions. So let me hear from you quickly.
Ambassador, I made reference to Adolf Hitler's style of leadership and how he was brought down. In a similar vein, don't forget that ECL was propelled as a result of the members of parliament. When the Central Committee decided otherwise, MPs gave a direction. So we should not be too quick to depart from history. Yes, times have changed, but for me, I think let's unite MZ and BM for the greater good of the country so that you can come back home. JJ Banda can come back home. Even Chirufiatari should come back home.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that simple.
So true. I agree with you. Many people are saying the golden ticket is Harry Kalaba and Makebi Zulu, or Brand Munduvile and Makebi Zulu. Makebi Zulu seems to be at the center of this golden ticket for various factors. But let's hear from our people. Honorable Muna Zulu. Hello, caller. We have the first caller. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and be brief. There are so many people that wish to ask Honorable Muna Zulu some questions.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Mwamba. Are you on the line?
Just hold on, I increase volume just a minute. Yeah, okay. Yeah, proceed.
Okay, Honorable Muna Zulu, welcome back. We thank you that we have you on board, and we thank you for what you are doing and what you've said. First and foremost, I like your honesty. Sometimes let's not sugarcoat things when we know what is waiting. For me, Honorable Muna Zulu, my encouragement to you and everyone that is going to participate is we need a united voice, and we need to pick one person, because like you have said, the people of Zambia already have chosen and they don't want this government. It's up to us now to put someone up front. And I like the way you've said Kuma last minute to Muna Zulu. Like, let's not sugarcoat things and try to say we are popular, we here. So my advice to you, as you are going to make that decision, who you are going to support, let's preach about having a united front. Ambassador Mwamba, thank you very much. We love you and continue doing the good job that you do. Thank you. God bless Zambia.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and give us your question for Honorable Muna Zulu. Is also MZ.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
I will remain anonymous.
Yes, anonymous.
I just want to welcome Honorable Muna Zulu, another MZ. I just want to tell him to say we were here praying for him, and his story is very, very emotional. But all we can say is God is in control, and go for it, my brother. Lusaka Central, we are waiting for you. You have our support, and it's also encouraging to see a brother coming live to endorse another brother. And all we are asking for as Zambians is unity, and you have our support, Honorable Muna Zulu. Thank you so much for staying strong, and your story is, I can tell you, is so emotional. And all we can do is to pray for you, pray for your family. May you continue being strong. Thank you so much, Honorable, Ambassador Mwamba, for this platform and for the opportunity that you are giving to the Zambian people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and give us your contributions quickly. Aofe bunoba munkonge mulishani.
Wino abafire bawera bazulu abo mwenshita tatwakwanishe ekyo ngeso sawa chimbi chakweba chwazulu lesare bana imwe eriyo omutende ulekonkanya okubana imwe kula kuntu bamitwere kulya kuliko efintu shingosho mukabo mfyako mukututungulula mwaba abashi bakuchirapo na pali abamishibire nomba para achirapo so chitwa totera fenso mwino wa makayonse to abana imwe pan twalelenganya kwewa chibushe kwena mparume yi tukayimona pantwele mwali mukati mulya amashiwi mwale panga yali ishara yali ekitika pamulandu wa B7 amashuwa yakulu ya mukyalo byomwatwere ku kooti abengi bayishire yeshibali shimwe bene muli mukati so fyali turango kwe bati awe fyonse tekitukumemu okulondolola leso omwino w'amakayonse namubwera akairimu aratutungulula n'okukirako nombapa ndefu okwipushako bafye omwinga twebako inena alifira okukitandastand Cape Zulu bakiri ku PF structure okukiri n'abamwamba so nomba Cape Zulu tabararanda okwebati inene olebe ntunguru kikunokonyi baranda pali unit yo baranda po bali bakitire na offer party ya kwebati yo babule kuba kita endorsement bali tashafye pamuchinchi babapere lero tabapokere ya party na pali ino inshtaine ndamuraba Cape Zulu barakita submit ku ntunguru shishonse shingire abamwamba nabambya abashara nomba ba mdara besu ba mundubire bali bomsha initiative yo nafiro okukita understand bafuma kuli urupwa ero nomba bayamba move yabo nomba abantu nga baleranda pakwikatana balerungura okwebati Cape Zulu nabamundubire bekatane chinsha abantu balefirira okweba ba mundubire because Cape Zulu tabali beka bali na family yonse ya PF bateronga pabo kwisa okwikatana abantu bonse besa mukulanda okwebati Cape Zulu bekatane n'abamundubire bamundubire n'abakwata group Cape Zulu tabakwete group balerorera ifyo chingaba so apo munja fwekwe mukumona kweno fyo mwingaso sapo.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and give us your contribution or question for Honorable Muna Zulu.
Zikomo kwambiri ba Emmanuel Mwamba mulibwanji ba Muna Zulu nizi kuti muli kumvera mukundana na muni wamene tampasani ife ndifuna yabe kuonjezerapo pamene imwe mwati uza apo pa media monga mwamene mwakambira kuti ine nizafuna kunkhala pansi na sorry for that anonymous from Zambia nifuna kukamba po monga mwene mwakambira kuti abantu babiri aba ndi amene nifuna kuti nwakazike pansi ni tione mwamene tingachitire kuti tiende na chintu chimozi nizoona before imo mukalipo bwera tinakamba po kumbuyo kuti imwe abantu ba MPF kwirizanani endani ku basi amene bamdala abanasiya ba ECL yamene Returns Alliance tinakambapo takambapo mpaka zafika pali no time manje kuti nzo na PF manje silipo PF inafa so tenzo kubali mpikisa kuti PF ngati mwagwiriza na mwenda ku Returns Alliance mu 2031 PF izakabwera yeka kopanda kuikonga izakabwera yeka ngati mwaita bwanji motarusha nkhondo mwa.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and give us your contributions quickly.
Good evening, Emmanuel Mwamba. You are talking to William Zimba from Muna Zulu.
Mr. Zimba, make your contributions quickly so that we can have Honorable Muna Zulu to answer the questions.
Honorable Muna Zulu, we need you back in Parliament. We don't want cowards in Parliament. We don't want people who want to put food on the table in Parliament. If it means we have to go and stand in the Copper Belt, go and stand. If it is Lusaka, stand in Lusaka. If it's in Southern, go and stand. We want people like you in Parliament. Mother Zambia needs your services.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and quickly make your contributions.
Yeah, my name's Lungu Alik. I'm calling from within Lusaka.
Make your contributions quickly.
Thank you so much. I want to make mention to Honorable Muna Zulu to say, in Nyanja there is a language that you don't forget where you are coming from, and you don't forget people that have been around with you when the times were hard. I want to remind Comrade Muna Zulu to say, as far as he is doing everything that he has to do, he shouldn't forget to say there were people that were following him, even in prison, going to see him. And one of those people is President Harikala. It is very wrong for Comrade Muna Zulu to come on air and lavish everything. I think it's very important to recognize President Harikala in whatever he was doing.
I think you probably misunderstood him. But anyway, thank you very much for that call. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm D calling from Chasefu district.
Yes, my dear brother from Chasefu.
I'm very happy to see Honorable Emmanuel Zulu back. And my apology. It is far I wanted to reach him. I tried my best, but I failed to do that. But all in all, very happy that he's back. And I think he has made a good submission. Even here where I am, it's BM and the MZ. That's my submission. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and give us your contribution before we allow Honorable Muna Zulu to answer some of the questions.
Okay. This is the Hanchega. I'm calling you from Mazabuga. Greetings to Honorable Muna Zulu there. I have a question for him. I followed him when he said the correct ticket according to him is the Honorable Brian Munduvire. I have a question. When he was behind bars, Mr. Harry Kalaba, President Harry Kalaba of Citizen First, went there to see him. What wrong has President Harry Kalaba done that today Mr. Muna Zulu can say Mr. Harry Kalaba is bad compared to Mr. Munduvire, whom I think, according to me, I never saw Mr. Munduvire going there. If he went there, maybe I never just followed. But I want to differentiate this. I want to know what wrong President Harry Kalaba has done for him to be sidelined by Mr. Zulu today.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and you're our last caller in this series so that we can go back to Honorable Muna Zulu.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba.
Good evening.
Good evening, Honorable Muna Zulu.
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Mwamba, I just want to hear something. We appreciate, we welcome you, Mr. Zulu. And we feel for you for everything which you went through during the time in jail. That was very bad. But I just want to comment on where you said the great ticket we can have as the opposition is Makeb Zulu and the Honorable Munduvire. Let's be realistic. These guys, they do not have a political party which is stable, which we can rely on as us as citizens, especially as people in opposition. The only person who's got a political party which is stable, which we can use and rely behind that person is President Harry Kalaba. Why are we trying to overshadow Harry Kalaba, who's got everything in place? So my appeal to everyone, even you, Honorable Muna Zulu, let's rally behind Harry Kalaba.
Thank you very
much.
much.
Because the only person who's having. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me go back to Honorable Muna Zulu. I can see callers wanting, in your opinion, to include other leaders, Honorable Muna Zulu. Let's get back to Honorable Muna Zulu and let's hear what his views are about the callers. You've opened a can of worms by narrowing down the leaders from, a number of 25, 13, 7, and now to 2 leaders. And I just read out what the polls had demonstrated on this poll. Please respond to our viewers that are very, very concerned about the direction of our country. And of course, and many have given you commendation for your bravery. I like the caller that said, you should stand, whether on the Copper Belt in Southern Province or Lusaka or
I think
Rumezi, you should
there is one
stand
important,
because they want courageous men like you in
there's
Parliament.
one important thing that I want to mention. Ambassador, are you there? Can you?
Yes, yes, I can see you are cutting, but go. We have your voice. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So one of the callers had mentioned Bill 7. I went to court whilst I was in prison challenging Bill 7. 4 constitutional court judges agreed with us. 3 did not agree with us, and we won that matter. In a normal environment, the government should have gone back to court and asked the constitutional court to vacate that decision. The constitutional court has never vacated their decision in my case, but they went ahead to amend the constitution. There is no record to show that they vacated the decision in my case. What a normal society should have done was to go to court, the court vacates the decision and start the process of the amendment. So we are living in very difficult times. Coming to the issue of President Harikalava that is being pronounced that he visited me in prison. Ambassador, I have no bad words of President Harikalava. Even when his visitation to prison was not meant for me. Yes, he visited me in Kabwe because the gate pass showed that he has come to visit Ronald Kaoma Stotera. But to single me out that he visited me, I think that is not being sincere and not being honest to ourselves. And then I'm not here to recommend those who visited me in prison, because there are more Zambians that visited me in prison than those who didn't visit me. There are more people that visited me from outside the country, but I'm not recommending them for Zambian presidential job. Ambassador, you sent me money when I was in prison. Have I recommended you to be president? No. It is the time and the season. I have nothing bad to say about President Harikalava. In fact, if there is one opposition leader who visited me in prison and gave me rice and chicken, is Dr. Fred Membe. Have I recommended him to be the president? No. It's the time and the season. Brian Mundubile visited me once in Chimbokaila. He never visited me in Wembeshi. He never visited me in Kawe. Makebi Zulu visited me once in Chimbokaila and once in Kawe. But it's the season. It's not about me. Ambassador, can we separate my personal wishes to the aspirations of the Zambian people? Zambians are suffering. It's true. No one will take away that fact. Why should it be about me? So me, I and myself. The eye does not see itself. It's others that look at our eyes. If there is something in my eye, someone will tell me, clean your eye. So it's not about who visited me in prison. JJ Banda is my brother, but he never visited me in prison. Tasira Rungu is my sister. She never visited me in prison, but they are not my preferred front runners. It's not personal. It's about saving the interest and the aspirations of the Zambian.
Indeed, Honorable Muna Zulu, you do not have to defend your decision and your personal
working together means
be infringing on your right. You are a
candidate.
politician. You've seen, like you've said, you've seen the season and terrain, and in your view, you've called on these two people to work together. Let me take another set of 5 questions for all you callers. I think let's focus the questions around the discourse that we've had today. If we descend to who should Honorable Muna Zulu recommend, the callers for Fred Membe will call, the callers for John Sangwa will call. No, Honorable Muna Zulu has made his views and you ought to respect them. He wishes that these two brothers should work together and we should respect that. So let's take a set of 5 calls and then I'm going to ask Honorable.
I'll let you know. I'll tell you when I'm endorsing, I will announce.
Yes. Oh, it's the phone is hung up again. We're having challenges with Lusaka internet, but thank you, Honorable Muna. Let me take another 5 or so questions. Then you come and answer them, and we wrap up the broadcast. We are so privileged that you had favored us to as the ideal platform to which you can air your views. Let's hear what the callers are saying. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and give us your contribution.
Okay, this is Chanda calling from Livingstone.
Chanda, make your contributions quick so that we can take other calls.
Chanda Shramamba, Napostal Maba Tretere program. Nokuspande Tanka, Twaranda Konava, Muna Zulu. Tate Mapantu, Navawera. Nabafesa na concerned wa Mwamba. Nababantu abale mama phone, kubo kwebati. Ababachite bale mitandalira nishimwali ku prison. Why mwabasira sideline mwamba okusupporta aba. Umuntu tete akwalisha okusupporta bonse. So mlenze bati bonse abaire ku prison. Muko batandalira. No muntu fe bamambe fe abakwata fe 140. So umuntu ngana kwataya okwale mwanati nyapa. Fetu muchinje. So kumule ko umuntu uli wonse. Obera bale supporta abali kalava. Nabena tete basapoti ba mundu bile futi tete basapoti bakepizuru basapoti abali kalaba so lekeni bapero omuchishu umuntu uli wonse umuntu owamwena ati uyu oninga bomba nankwe uyu oninga emina nankwe.
In fact, you've put it in proper perspective. Even knowing Honorable Harry Kalaba, I don't think he would give, or he went to prison for a favor back. No, the way I know Honorable Harry Kalaba, he doesn't give to have something in return. So the callers, but our callers are fervent. You can't again stop them from airing their views. We don't give to have something in return. I don't think that's what we do. We help because we need to help, not because we want those that we've helped to help us back. So it would be a total misrepresentation of even Honorable Harry Kalaba if that was the perception. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Vuta. Good evening, Ambassador.
Vuta, give us your contributions quickly.
First of all, Munire, welcome back to the society full of challenges, full of trouble, full of trauma. Somebody would say I was watching a video in Johannesburg, someone was saying in court that take me to prison because prison I'll come out as with a degree and a reformed person. You are giving us a very different analysis or experience of what has happened to you in prison. Mr. Zulu, Honorable Zulu, you seems to be a right person to speak to all members of the opposition to come together because of your experience in prison. There is no any better person at this point to speak for unity among the opposition because you are just coming out from the prison where you were tortured, you were oppressed for things that you did not commit. I'm appealing before you that kindly, it's not about endorsing who visited you or whatever, you have put it very straight, but I'm appealing before you that please don't get tired. Speak to these leaders, speak to these individuals to put their egos away and unite for the betterment of the Zambian people.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and give us your quick contribution.
Okay, my name is Alec, calling you from Dola.
Alec, give us your contribution.
Yes, Mr. Mwamba, I think if you heard what Makebi Zulu said regarding working together with Mundubile, he said, let Mundubile come back, then we're going to work together. So the best way, let Mundubile join his friends so that these people, they can work together.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and give us your contribution. Yo, tuliaba mtende. Make your contribution, my brother.
Oh, na Muna Zulu akubalife we9.
Yo, nababuela. You know,
okay.
He's a warrior.
Okay. Watotera sana. Kwena amashina ndinya buchiti mukuru.
Make your contribution.
Kwena echo ndifo okulanda kuchakoba ti twatotera sana papyo ba Muna Zulu lesa basungire muri yenchende bali nokuma bafuma. Ombe echo ndifo okulanda ko bane. Ape fintu nafiranga ndifo fine ba Muna Zulu baliranda. Abantu bali background ndipo tulesangwa n'abantu mu market botushitisha mu machechezi baliranda pali mundubire na Makebi Zulu uko bati bese pamo icho ekiri background twirayiwe pati balifwaya abana ngwaba ifilipo ni Makebi Zulu na mundubire so echo ningalomba koine ba Muna Zulu na mfuma esheni kona makayonso kulanda kona bashikofu ba Katolika bishop bamma churches ashara bateke kwa abantu babiri panshi because ishita atukwete oledo me nomination so twapapa tabane landeni kona abantu babiri bamonefo balatu wako kuwena Zambia because tule chula ifintu na bishupa tule rabane nsala.
Thank you. Hello caller, please tell us your name and quick your contribution before I pick the last caller.
Okay, good evening, Ambassador. My name is Mrs. Anonymous from the land of AI Kingdom. Comrade Muna Zulu, we wish to welcome you. You know, it hasn't been easy for you to be in that prison. And when you shared the story, it was a very sad story to listen to. And it takes somebody with a lot of resilience of what you went through. And so, Ambassador, I just had a quick question for him in terms of the issues of, I know you said we're not going to talk about it, but he mentioned it, so we might as well refer to it. It's the issue of Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu, and I don't know if he listened to Makebi Zulu when he was on Crown TV, when he was asked, can you go and join your brother, Brian Mundubile? He said, on principle, he's working with principle. I don't know how he defines the movement that was done by Brian Mundubile from the PF to the other one in terms of legality. How do you define that? Would you support that as illegal or legal? And why are we not advocating that Brian goes back to PF so that he can work with his friends? I think for me, that is a comment that I want him to reflect on. And the way he came out to say, no, I'm working with my brothers, Brian and Makebi, it's like I'm saying then what you want to, at the same time, therefore, I don't know, maybe yes, the analog may be a bit difficult, maybe vague in the way I'm trying to compare them. But for me, it's an issue of him trying to look at the two people and really look at the issues of integrity, loyalty, and honesty in this whole process with regards to what the Zambians really want.
Thank you.
I thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you. The last caller, so that we revert to Honorable Muna Zulu. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and make your contribution.
Yes, Ambassador Emmanuel, this is James calling from Sama.
Yes, James.
I agree with the Honorable Muna Zulu that the two, Luire and the Makebi, needs to work together. But again, our concern is that the other camp, the PF Pamozi, we don't really know the roadmap. with Munduvire, the roadmap is very clear, and the purpose of the vehicle has already been said that it's the FTD. I think every step we know. They have even advertised for candidates. Now, with the other camp, we are waiting for other court cases, which we don't know when they're going to finish. So,
thank you very much, my dear brother. Thank you. Let me. I've seen Father Oscar Mansapombo from Italy, who has been praying for you, by the way. Yeah, every time he prays, when he's on these blogs, Honorable Muna Zulu, Father Oscar Mansapombo will pray for the first family for ECL. He will pray for you that are in prison, and many times would mention your names. So he's here. I've given him the privilege, although at close, but when I saw he's online, especially that he prays for you guys, that he should. Father Oscar, you can proceed with your quick contribution.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mwamba. Thank you so much, Honorable Muna Zulu. We bless God that finally you are out of prison. I'm happy to have listened to your sad story, but instead of focusing on the bad issues or bad things, I think we would like to focus on the hope that now after this period, God is going to enlighten you how you can continue serving the Zambian people. I'm happy to hear that in listening to your voice, you don't seem to be a sad person. You seem to be a focused person. And I can read that you have accepted whatever has happened, and you are looking forward to speak, especially to the Zambian people. I have only one question. I've not engaged myself in the partisan politics. The fight and the battles of PF, I have left them to the cadres and to the PF members with great respect. But I've also been listening to what has been happening, and I can see that Emmanuel Mwamba program gave us the indications. The Zambian people, they were looking to these three names. President Hakainde Chilema, the current president. Then we have President Makebi Zulu, and then we have Brian Mundubile. I think, and we have also the fourth one. Let me put the fourth one. Harry Kalaba as well was mentioned on the Emmanuel Mwamba platform. Now, coming back to the PF, because you Muna Zulu, I suppose you are still, whether you are independent member of parliament, but I suspect, or I suppose, you are still a PF member of parliament. If that is the case, status for you.
No, he was independent. He was independent MP.
All right, independent MP, yes. I have only one question for Muna Zulu. One question. How do you feel to hear that this evening, Honorable Brian Mundubile is being covered at Zambia National Broadcasting Services? How do you feel? And what is your take? Thank you so much, Mwamba. Thank you. Good evening, everybody.
Thank you. Honorable Muna Zulu, let me throw this to you. You know the issues surrounding candidates remains a very hot topic here, and it was your tail-end comments, and look at the comments that it has invited. Answer the callers, and then I'll come back with the issue of your closing remarks. Your own, Honorable Muna Zulu.
I love to be as basic in my communication as I can be. I don't believe in the Jody Pombo way of communication. I'll be as simple as I can be. Most of the callers, they're either talking of PF this, which PF Zambia has gotten to its destination. its destination is not PF. Zambia is looking for a Joshua. Which vehicle that Joshua uses is not your business, not my business. I recommend to my fellow citizens all the time, let's look back, let's read what happened in such moments. People are looking for a leader, they're not looking for PF. They know where PF is. They know where FDD is. They know where UNIP is. They know where UPND is. But they're looking for that leader. It's not the PF the Zambians are looking for. They know who has PF. So, my recommendation is not to say PF should form government. No. I've not said PF and UPND should work together. I have said Makebi Zulu and Brian Mundubile should work together. That's what I've said. So that I'm quoted right. We have had a situation in our country where we have failed, of course, not in context, to bury the former president of the Republic of Zambia. Others have said and gone further to create rumors that he's not dead. We want to see his body. We want to see where he's buried. But if you go back to the Bible, you who believes in the Bible, because I do not believe in the Bible, but I read the Bible. Where was Moses buried? So what has happened to Zambia is not something new. It has happened before. But the question should be, how was it resolved? So I'm not speaking to say, let's look for PF. I'm not saying let's look for a vehicle to use. We can make Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu be the people's choice. Because it's about the people. It's about the Zambian people. And the season favors the two brothers. Unfortunately, I've nothing against these others. But I've got everything against what Zambians don't want. Zambians don't want a certain crop of leadership. So I'm siding with the Zambians. But I don't want to be caught in a mix of identifying the driver and the vehicle. What Zambians need is the driver. So let's give them the driver, that's all. Which vehicle they use, the Zambians will give us a signal. The Zambians have made a decision on what they don't want. And I'll side with the Zambian people. I'm not here to say PF is where, we know where PF is. But is that the conversation Zambians are having? The answer is no. Are people having a conversation to say where is Tonse? No. Are people asking a conversation of where is Uka? No. The conversation is who is the driver of what vehicle. Zambians will give us whether it's a Nissan, whether it's a Maserati, it's an Aston Martin. Zambians will tell us, oh, now you have a driver. Drive the Maserati, drive the AO 300. So Zambians have told us to find a driver. They have a vehicle. So what you tell us to say PF, FDD, that is in peri, doesn't add value. Let's have the driver, and the Zambians will give us a vehicle to use.
Oh, wonderful. As we go, to our last set of questions, you just touched the matter of the late president, Zambia's sixth president, His Excellency Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, whose motto remains, "Have not been put to rest." What are your views? What should be done? What are your thoughts around this very sad scenario? There have been arguments. The state is saying, no, it's not us who took the matter to court, but they're the ones that took the matter to court. The family only appealed the matter, and the family is not satisfied with the judgment because the judgment claims that the body should be reposited to the state and the state owns the body. The family has that huge contention for now and for the future. That's why they appealed, because they don't believe in that judgment. But who should break the impasse? When can we put the late president, in your view, to to rest? Secondly, there was a huge screaming headline the other day about you working with President Hakainde Hichilema, and you used very unfamiliar terms. Just explain what you meant that you cannot work with President Hakainde Hichilema. So I think take those two questions for me. You are on, Honorable Muna Zulu.
Ambassador, the issue of having failed to bury President Edgar Lungu is an embarrassment. Having failed to bury a former head of state is an embarrassment. It borders on people's ego. Unfortunately, it goes into our history books that we failed to bury our head of state. What is more painful is that if we can fail to have the mortal remains interred, a simple funeral, we have failed. Can we resolve health care? Can we resolve our infrastructure problems? Can we resolve our energy problems? The answer is no. A simple funeral, we have failed. The other day, I saw ZESCO using some form of Nissan Champ instead of Land Cruisers. The aspirations of the Zambian people have been reduced. What we knew was that ZESCO uses Land Cruiser in case of emergencies, where there are bad roads, the Land Cruiser will go. But what we see now are simple, small cars, whether the Nissan Champs, I don't know what they call them. What we have seen is our aspirations have been reduced to building hospitals, to building classroom blocks. The aspirations of the Zambian people have been reduced from building airports to building toilets. The aspirations of the Zambian people have been reduced to commissioning solar projects. I don't think we are a country that can tell a good story. Failing to bury the mortal remains of the former president, surely we cannot do anything that will meet the aspirations of the Zambian people. We have been cheapened, and it is embarrassing. I do not know of you friends that are in the diaspora what good stories you have to tell about Zambia. I do not know which investor can come into a country where you boast of commissioning toilets. I don't know. It is painful. It is embarrassing. But some people should have taken a decision, a bold decision, so that we bury the former president. This is embarrassing, and it is sad that it will remain embedded in the books of history, and our great-great-grandchildren will come and read that at this moment, the Zambian people failed to bury their former president, the way we read the stories of Adolf Benito Mussolini in history. This is also going to be read in history one day.
And the headline I think in the mast about you working with President Hakainde Hichilema, you tried to express an impossibility. Yes, Honorable Muna Zulu, you are on.
Ambassador, it is wishful thinking to think that the man I saw, it's wishful thinking to say that the man I gave my oath of allegiance to, before my trial, there was a lead newspaper headline in the News Diggers that I'm a nuisance. Ambassador. And then someone proposes that I should go and work with that man. He made a decision that I'm a nuisance. So you're asking me to consult my God if I can work with him? The answer is no.
Yeah.
Ambassador, can I work with you? Yes, I can. Can I work with Dr. Fred Membe? Yes, I can. Can I work with Dr. Honorable Hari Kalawa? Yes, I can. Can I work with Dr. Kambiri? Yes, I can. He made his decision on me before he could even pick up his phone call to call me. I'm a nuisance to him. So why should I consult God?
Yeah, as we
The
close,
newspaper
Honorable
headline
Muna
of the
Zulu,
news
there's a
figures
matter
is
you
still
took
there
up in court.
and
First
well.
of all, congratulations. You made
And
history
instructed his
when you took
ministers
up
to
the
take me
matter
on.
of Bill 7
Even when his ministers
with
never came to
Celestine
court.
Mukandila. The two of you made history, and the Constitutional Court ruled in your favor and stopped that constitutional making process, determining that it was illegal, it had no legitimacy, and government were directed on how to do constitutional making process. You have gone in history with that. There's a matter you took just before your judgment before the Lusaka Magistrate Court. You decided in an unprecedented manner to sue the magistrate that in your view had not conducted the trial properly, because the people that are accused you of that crime when you reported corruption allegations in regard to the Lusaka and Ndola Jokarejo, one of the issues you cited is that they didn't even bother to come and be on record and give witness statement to the case. Has that matter been dealt with? Can you update the nation about that matter that you had sued, I think, the PRIM from Lusaka, who was supposed then to deliver judgment? He proceeded anyway and sent you to prison, but you had taken that civil case in the Constitutional Court. Just highlight us about that and give us your closing remarks. Hello.
If you remember during the Bill 7 fiasco,
Yes.
The Speaker of the National Assembly said Parliament enjoys immunity. During the Bill 7 fiasco,
Yes.
the Speaker declared that her members has immunity. So we are waiting for judgment in that matter so that we know whether that immunity is only applicable to certain names and certain individuals. But it will be sub judice for me to get into the merits and demerits because we're just waiting for judgment. But Nelly Muti, when our lawyers took her on for contempt of court, she cried parliamentary immunity. So how is it that I didn't have immunity? She enjoys immunity when we're all members of parliament.
Okay. Okay.
So
kindly give us your
it's for the good
last
of the country
remarks.
that legal scholars will learn one or two from this scenario. But I think we'll have another interview. Ambassador, in conclusion,
Yes.
I'm not speaking as PF because I know where the PF are. I'm speaking on behalf of the majority Zambians that are calling for us to give them a driver. Let us not labor talking about the PF. We are wasting time instead of us having a productive conversation. PF won't come back from where it is today or tomorrow. It may come back in the near future, but not now. For now, Zambians are looking for a driver, and in us harmonizing the situation, the majority of the Zambians, from where I sit and I'm coming from, they have proposed two names, and I've got no benefit of doubt in my mind that we need to work with these two drivers. Let one be the main driver, the other one be the lorry boy. There is no harm. We will still get to our destination.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Dear
I'm
viewers.
humbled, Ambassador. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, dear viewers, we were hosting Honorable Muna Zulu, a former independent member of parliament for Lumezi, and we're privileged that since his freedom, he chose this platform. Let me just play in conclusion as we allow Honorable Muna Zulu to go. there's a video I liked where he summarized the issues that literally took him to prison.
Has made reference that they were suspended for absconding Parliament, were suspended for not being heard by Parliament without the privileges sitting to suspend us. Only the Speaker single-handedly suspended us for 30 days. Secondly, the hate speech is only applicable to the members in opposition when the Secretary General of the UPND calls an Archbishop of Lusaka a Lucifer is not hate speech. When the Minister of Education calls the people of Luapula province as suffering from poverty of the mind is not hate speech. When I say I'm more intelligent than him, it's hate speech. Where is freedom of expression?
It's really, we are learning with shock that a former president in the name of Edgar Chagwalu, who terribly failed to manage the order and the welfare of this country, is busy manipulating himself to have issues of thinking he can come back to this country. Zambians are not docile. Zambians will never be taken back to areas where they cannot access freedom in the market. Zambians will not be taken back to an opportunity whereby even just boarding a bus wearing any party t-shirt was a crime. Zambians will not be taken back where meal allowances at the University of Zambia was scrapped off. Zambians will not be taken back where even just shaking a hand with someone who belongs to another political party it was a crime. Lungu must watch his steps. Yes. He must watch his steps. I think Lusaka province and other provinces, you've tolerated that idiot for so long. Bring that man to Northwestern where we practice circumcision so that we take him into circumcision. We take him into circumcision. We are not here docile. People, the civil servants, we are not working. Because under the civil service there was a serious division. Ethnicity was the code of the day. Promotion was just wanted on because you belong to a certain political party on ethnicity. Is that what Rungu thinks he can take us back to? We will circumcise him. Yes. We are appealing to government. If there is opportunity for Rungu to come to Northwestern, please do it quick. Yes. Bring him here. Yeah. Bring him here. So that we teach him a lesson. Yes. And he will remember the time his mother cried when giving birth to him. Yes. We cannot be doing things like cry babies in a country. Who is Rungu? Who does he think he is? Does he want Zambia? Does he want Zambia? Please, we ask Mr. Rungu to consider himself as a statesman or face proper circumcision that he has never witnessed before. He will see us. And to the youths in Lusaka, we are appealing to you colleagues. Yes. Wake up. Wake up. If you don't have money power there, tell us we come. Yes. As a province, we are very much ready to coordinate and bring the youth there in Lusaka.
People were clapping to those off remarks that were against the law, remarks that should never even have been aired, but they were even aired by ZNBC. It demonstrates the selective nature of our laws, the way they are being applied. Honorable Mumbipiri, my guest is your young brother, Honorable Muna Zulu. We've just concluded, but you have something to say, so I'll let you say it. He's in the studio, but you can proceed to say what you want to say.
Thank you so much. Muna Zulu is not my young brother. He's my son.
Oh, yes, your son, indeed.
I'm which group Anybody who is less than 40 is my son because age group Nachikonka podcast. Ero nachiva kuchiro nachira matwi. I couldn't call earlier because all nabwera kunganda. Na turufya my counselor, the one who was my counselor in 2006, James Maimba Kumutendere has lost a wife.
Our condolences.
Afwana cancer. And the young brother is our present counselor to the late Kumutendere ward. My son Munia was preaching about unity between Brian Mundubire na Makebi. And I'm one of those people who has been working in the background that these people, yes, whether people like it or not, they are the front runners. But chibipile chakulatuka ama supporters fema konka ba Makebi na ba Mundubire tuletuka abantu, and yet we are pretending to be trying to unite these people. So far from Makebi's side, now Mfwakofye, and I don't know how true that audio is. Audio aretuka mukata sila. That's the only one. This which I'm going to say, na ritumine, even I can mention them because in Shiva, Ishipita Mumba Dinanda Fefinto for Fidi. When Iriam Mutambo called us women who are moving with Makebi as Vaderaila, as if that's not enough, Ukwisa Chita name, Bamayo, by Reverend Godfrida Sumaidi, by her name, Bamwamba, who was married at the age of 21, 22, to one man, abana bonse na fyala with one man. I've been married in omwaka ni 36 years old. Do I deserve to be called Delilah by Lilian Mutambo, who is calling herself chairperson for elections? Balungu na Bamundubire bapusene umulandu wakwabwa lyanonde na uyu wabako SP Nomba, what's his name, Niapunda bale salula Balungu, and this Balungu told me from his own mouth, yes, Balungu identified Mundubire to be a leader. But abale Mungu ofe bamufuminemo na Chirufya tayari alitire confirm, although enalumbuire fechimo ichakweba ati alandira ati alera ndati lomba Bamundubire ifinefi Chirufya tayari alumbuire chimu ati because taire mukumona ba bishop. And ono Balungu bamufuminemo Mundubire. Balungu again sent Bamukupa to go and meet Chitaru Chirufya. Chitaru Chirufya wanse twali mwene atampiro kwenda na hakainde ichirema. Nomba Bamundubire gata basambirira ukweba ati bapusene na Balungu because of the people who were following him, insulting others. Aba babiri bakachitashani unite. Ine shuwa ine mumbipiri. Kutina abadde Raila mmeso yakwa Lilian Mutambo. Umwa iche wandi. Because she's 46 years old. Can't give birth to a 46-year-old person. Others have spoken to me to say, what if she apologizes? When she said that, I reached out to Honorable Mutoto Kafwaya, natuchakwe na Lilian Mutambo, ine kutambika pali Deraila, and he told me that he was going to speak to her. The other person I spoke to was JJ, and Adi Shireranda Lilian Mutambo kuri JJ, and she was going to apologize. She has never done that. The last time I was talking to JJ, I told him, Pano tufikire. Lilian Mutambo nangwakalande sorry to me or the other women she called Delilah. Me, as Mumbitiri, I cannot accept that. Why? Because Shara Monica, that she refuma panshi pamutima wakwe. It's because ishiraba mufosinga ukweba ati mwamundubire na Makebi baindere pamu. She believes in na kulutaza ninebo Delilah. Our child in Kadipa. And I can pretend. I can't pretend. Because Nisha Talabapo Delilah. So, if you're Munia, my son, I'm sorry, I might disappoint you, but the truth of the matter is, Imwenga Mule Monati, you just need Makebi. All of us were useless. Let Makebi come on his own. Me, I'm not ready. I can sit at home and look after my children. But chichakulako abantu banankani ba akainde tabachinjika bana bayo. If balebera bana wakwe as she belongs to the kitchen. Publicly so. That's why he can call out Chipo Mwanawasa, Chipo stand up. Publicly so. Tukwate na babya bale Twitter twa Delilah. Ole futule konko mungulu. Inazmumbi. I can't. Andinenga ninkwata omuntu ule nkonka aletuka abantu alebasalula tekoba tukuwonfya ensere mukiwemba tulanda kinsere kya mu mishingo. It's the way you are talking to people. But Delilah, and I'm going to tell him that those women should never be near Mundubire. Nalibapo mu cabinet ne. Ale nchitabando awe nalifulwa bamwamba. Makebi ngalefu okuya mukupanga peace na bamundubire ifufwe bachita believe in him ngale siminati nifwe ba Delilah. So be it. Ina alikuwa teba lori ontima mwamataba. And you know, it makes me so sad. A fellow woman, I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted that people should hear, and your podcast goes far. That's the way I feel. I've never been Delilah, and I will never be in my life. I'm 56 years old now. I'm 10 years older than Biden Mutambo. Anyway, I cheerlead for my elections. Let's see how far they will go. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, when you allow one call, you are forced to allow other calls. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contributions quickly.
Okay, my name is Vespa Sondelesa. I am calling from Michigan City.
Yes, my dear sister, make your contributions.
Awe, chawa mokumoneti bazulu bafuba Nigeria, baita baisa kisanga chakututira sana. Lakini bakilondola mafamilizi bafire baposa kwa mama kweba chimutunga kuna mjeri baramusunga shani. Ero icha number 2 na bachisala ndaba abakusala tibana nabo bakusala abakatwini bakutira plan bire abana kibiso inafunye ngalanda kutisha kwenda abantu abeni amazambians eba moyinya balanda tawe ngabakusitwa kwatala brand bire baba president baba kibiso baba vice abantu abeni eba lefwa mamoni so nga mwamona n'abantu nga balefwaya so ni for sure abantu baingi bakalamu teifwe kwebayikatana tekweba tibantu bamakembizulu naba-brown mundubire n'abakwata kunaimwe kumogi bonse bonse abama-politicians tekweba kino kitatubatemye netatuли bafwaya nati batemwa bonse nati batemwa nomba okulingana na population ya muzambia abantu ba muzambia bose abene balangati nga kyakola kikali ba fulani ba president bamatembi zulu baba bapaisi nchifintu fikenda bwino.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me take some more quick calls. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Mwamba, me, it is Kafwimbi here.
Mr. Kafwimbi from Australia. Make your quick contribution, my brother.
Yes, my brother. Just give me a lot. This so long because I want to refer to the video where our young brother Munia was speaking there. He was speaking about saying things about people, and then it becomes an offense. It becomes an offense. And I've had a problem. You know, you deliberately did not give me George Mbonga's number. You argument with anyone. You have known me for so long. You know, EMV, when we started, you know, but these people, why can't we just talk? And it's people from one camp. No, but village that spread. You know, and that's what Munia was talking about. I was looking at this video there. But look at what I can say. George Mutonga, I don't even Mutonga. I don't even know his wife. I'll let you know what I'm a member. I shall not shot in the Movember. Mamma is shot in Silly Movember. Please, I want to have each remains.
I'm going, my dear brother from Australia, I'm going to pass on the number for George Mutonga. I know we are in different camps, but he likes to engage. And of course, those remarks he made were totally unfortunate. And I'll give you the number. I know he will respond to you and you will speak.
Yes.
But your point is, insane lemma politics. You know, that's what Honorable Mumbipiri was just complaining.
We were dealing with Ichililo. We need to calm down. And we you know, you change our mind. It doesn't matter what camp someone is. I was fighting for Ichililo. Lilian was in the other camp, but
and in this case, which Lillian are you talking about? Because there was a Lillian being discussed here.
Oh, no. I don't talk about the other Lillian. I was talking about our former DPP.
Okay. Yes, she had the funeral. She had the funeral and Mtonga made some unfortunate remarks. Yes, now I understand. Okay. You're my brother. Let me take the other quick calls because I'm about to close. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and give us your contributions.
Hello, Ambassador Mwamba. This is Queen Pumi from California.
My dear sister, make your contributions.
Thank you. I just want to welcome back Honorable Muna Zulu, and we are sorry to hear his sad story, but we thank God for his life and that God preserved his life for a reason, and that his story shall be a testimony and be an encouragement to many Zambians who are in jail, and also it will expose a lot of things that the injustice that is happening in our supposedly correctional service. But I want to echo the words of Madam Mumbipiri. Lilian Mutambo, I knew her in 2021 elections, and she did politics professionally, but I don't know how she has gone off the rail to being a cheerleader headquarters of insulting and disrespecting women. Disrespecting everybody, literally. You know, I'm ashamed. I am ashamed that she vied to be a Munali MP. And, you know, she has revealed her colors. So no wonder our men in Zambia, they can tell us such things that we belong in the kitchen. You know, you are surprised we can be told we belong in the kitchen with such behavior. Someone behaving like she's at a market, someone who has a master's degree in human rights, she claims, is in the forefront violating people's rights or freedoms to speak. It's disgusting. Honestly, Lillian, you have to stop. And all the people are following her, insulting us. I've never been a Chirende or Solola. I have children from my husband of my youth, 3 girls, if you don't know me. Now we can put our information out there because you're not going to start spreading false information about us. I've never been a Chilende. I have 3 children from a man I married in my youth. Full stop, okay? Let us not go into your page. But I just want Bamundu Bide, please. We advise Bamundu Bide. This woman you are putting there, she will destroy you. Coming to the unity. How can there be unity when this woman is literally injuring everyone? People who are there, senior PF officials, they are being insulted because of Lillian, who claims to be a PF. Or I don't know what she claims herself to be. Upsetting everybody. And I would like to appeal to the men not to ignore this. Our men should condemn Lillian. It's not okay for Lillian to behave like that and you're all quiet. Ambassador Mwamba was insulted here. So I just want to tell Lillian, you say you are a woman of God. What kind of God do you pray to? Where in the afternoon or whatever time you can be insulting women and then go and close in the closet and pray hallelujah Jesus. You are a hypocrite. I submit.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and give us your contributions.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba.
Good evening. Mayo, long time, Wakaputa. Make your contributions.
Twaposhana okutalesa Muna Zulu kwisa emkwaye kuwela okufuna ku kifungo twatufe tubakosela ekyo kubeba ati kine twonfefe mwalondola fyamalanda ifyo kyalo kyesitraikala kyomukyali okufina bonfa kuba yako awo ekifungo ekitwali kyonfuira okutali nomba kikyamwonekera apapa liifwe naimwe twanfa okulondola pafyo Muna Zulu bakipushwa kweba ati Bashani bana ni mwinga sala po wakuti batungirire fya kubavukateeka 26 sorry. Bachilanda tuwa makebi Zulu na bamundu bire bampani babepamu. Bonse fya wengi tuwalilande efyo. Nomba mukupituluka musana. Excuse me mkwari. Ina mono kutira. Natubweshe kona amano bamundu bire. Busheta kuliko bonse abalelanda ti. Talk to Makebi Zulu, talk to Mundubit. Mushita kuliko abengalanda fenawa. Konso kushare balubinda, bashimba, mausampa, na bonse ba MCC wabo. Abengalanda ti bani ba Mundubit iseni bweleni. Banti chiruba chali pangilwe na ba Jabinga and mausampa abwela. Nakuli abengayana kilisha kuba Mundubit ati bweleni. Nakuli ba Mwamba. Nakuli abakuya bwesha kwa bati bweleni kanshi. Nga babwela aba. Ero bapituluke mufyonse. Tule mfukulando ati panja PF takuli. Bati chine tula yofora. Yokuli motoka yakwendela munomba drive utatuishiwe. Fine driver. Motoka tayafishe. Mwichibemba bati sungo mkoshi. Ubulungu tabwa yafia. Ubulungu tabwa bula. They are talking about character. Isunge wino. Ubulungu no wabane eba kutuwa ashima wafualako. Although abantu bamo classic tetibashime fintu kunoko. Lelo, ichisuma echibupe, chisalintu waisunga n'emisango esuma. Mwishanye ni bonse ba PF bakale, na bonse bumulendela po nabo, emkwai. Elio chimbi chakulanda pofenichi, mayo ba mumbipiri, mayo mula pepa, chachi ne mwalango kweba tibali, na muchene kwa na amashiwayo yalandilwe. Nami lomba mayo, weshenyu mutima, mwebikapo eleshi umwatila. Okay, Makebi Zulu aleye fafine. Ibumba lyonse Makebi Zulu mwapanga nalyo nimwe bo bapiye fafine. Neri shere kuli ba mundu bire. Nalo line lyonse tulelifuaya okuba pamo. Bonse tule mifuaya maiba mumbipiri bweshenyu mutima. Ukwelela kwai fofwe bapepale. Isa. Tebakunse. Abakunse kabiri chwa chali basenda kale. Nomba imwe na ine na bambi konga tule pepalesa. Ichipengo chala tule batiresa nga Psalm 32. 132 solwia iberenga mayo. Ilela ndati. Lesanga tale elela. Inani engemi na kumulola wakwe n'okupepesha. Mayo elele nililieni. Ngabule kufuna chumi. Fwa ini namba yako mkalande nankwe. Pakuti mubwesha nye mule bomba bonse emirimu eyo yine. Mule bomba. Mkwaiba Mwamba na atotele pompele.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from and give us your contribution.
Yes, this is Gideon calling you from Sorese. I would just like to support what Mwamba Verified said. Even you, Mwamba, you have not been spared by Lilian Mutambo. She has been commenting rubbish on your post. Okay, let us just be clear with these things. The PF is bigger than Brian Mundovile. Okay, look at what happened at Youth Day today. If Brian Mundovile is that strong, okay, he doesn't want to associate with the current leadership of the Patriotic Front. Let Brian Mundovile stop using PF Regalia. Let Brian Mundovile start using the FDD Regalia. PF is bigger than Brian Mundovile. PF cannot follow Brian Mundovile to FDD. So, in fact, we shouldn't even be talking about, they are saying, Brian Mundovile should work with Makebi because time is running out. We need to come up with a strategy whereby we choose our driver, the person who is going to lead us. Time we stand up, we are going to talk Brian Mundovile, and the right. PF cannot follow Brian Mundovile. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We might just find a day to discuss the issue of leadership and unity because this is a matter that evokes so much feelings. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and give us your quick contribution.
Yes, this is Katongo. I'm calling from within Lusaka.
Yes, Katongo, make your contribution.
Yes, Ambassador Mwamba. All these people are saying, no, call this one, let's work together. That cannot work. The only thing that can happen, let's allow anyone who wants to stand. Because after all, whatever has happened was the reason why certain things were done to PF so that this can result. And whoever was planning that, they must be celebrating that. Actually, what they wanted to do is what has happened. So, going forward, let's allow, because there's no time to do all these people are suggesting now. Let's allow everyone who wants to stand, so they can split the vote. And for a fact, there's no one who's going to get 50+1. And if that happens, then it will show us now who should be right behind for a rerun. Period.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and give us your contribution.
Yes, I'm Kawemba calling from Lusaka. I'm just challenging by Brian Mundovile to come in the open and condemn Lilieni Mutambo's insults. Because if he is a presidential candidate worth the sought to be the president of this nation, I don't think he should sink so low and fold his hands whilst Lilian is insulting our mothers. And sometime back, somebody even called them to say the penguin of Madagascar. Is that really fair? Let Mundovile come out in the open. Bakashite condemn Lilieni
ababe n'ama-followers ababe nachandano ndi abatukana ensele lyonse. Otherwise, we can't have such a person as a president in this nation. Fiakwa.
Yes, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling from and give us your contribution.
Mr. Mwamba, this is Enoch. I'm in the Copper Belt.
Yes, Enoch, give us your contributions quickly.
Yes, I'll be quick. One thing I've observed on the camp for Brian Mundu, it's a camp that is so difficult to even unite. Group they are surrounded by difficult people. Look at what Davis. Look at these other MPs that who have been promised positions, which becomes even difficult to unite. So even if people are calling and saying that let us unite, Makebi Zulu and Brian Mundu, that practically is impossible. No wonder people today were busy commenting and saying, let Brian Mundu start using FDG and stop using PF and see what happens. I was in one of the grouping where we went to march, and what I saw is a situation which were given stated that Balei Sapina Bana no Sami Fika Katika Tenko Mwamba no Kulaenda. Because of the excitement which is there. So even if no matter how much, I know Muna Zulu stated that these two should be united, but trust me, the group Brian Mundu has formed, I don't know if it's the group which has formed itself, the group of Benalide and Mutambo, those cannot be united to Makebi Zulu. Now Bakusana Tiama attributes, now Bakusana Tisana. That's what I wanted to comment.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and make your contributions. Yes. Yes, caller.
Bamwamba ineni ninsenda mashiwe asuma sana afumine kuli ba Munia Zulu. Mashiwe kankana sana arifwa ikapatuli. Bamwambe chindu cha festo cho ningarandako. Ninkwata mapointi abiri. Icha first chakwe bati iyi election tukuite Bamwamba. Election ilikuwa ati last ngatwafiro kuwina last. So ngatwasenda abantu ama words baresenda yakoba ati abana abatereka tete bachite united is impossible. Then let's even forget about our country if we cannot fail to unite. Unity should come as a sacrifice. Abantu babiri abantu ba diaspora abantu batabishi benefya ko batugucyushi turepitamo bano te bantu tuingate mwangano batutukana then twachibika kumukoshi kwa ko bati ine pantu bache abari ntukana ba Queen Cobra ababa banani bapumi bari chitefya I'm not discussing people here. I'm just giving an example. Te bantu bengesa lengati tufuaye tukutuka chanyi charu tupoke charu hii election ya last. If you are going to play it very petty, there will never be election in Zambia again. Kuresa mkuba no term limit for a president. Ifkesa abakwapa. Abantu abo bonse baresa mkutuleta chyo tuichita unite ndemye batabeshi befrisa pantanshi. Nevyo balenda chyo 50+1 finshi skesa filo kubumba. The only thing of Ningaranda Bamwamba. Let us forget abantu fubare tutukana. Let us forget if into fields to fike kunuma. Unity be ichintu ichikurocha tutepo sacrifice tuponye na ego yesu na batutukana tula to make sure that tuchite unite. Nachira romba ko chintu chimukuriba nachira romba ko chintu chimwa mwambe cha last. Nachira romba ko chintu kuriba mawa mu mbipiri n'abaranda amashiwa kurusana aya ko bari willing support aba brother babo ngakuchakwe bati ba mu mbipiri na brother babo ba wishikanya kuchira omuntu uri ukutari otabeshi benera relationship bakwata. So that twambe no kwendera pamufubo nsefe. We need each other and them yeba. Than insere na chepo kuchira unity. Unity is bigger than even if you say.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from and give us your contribution.
Good evening, Ambassador. Good evening. My name is Tandiwe Ketish Ngoma.
Oh yes, our dear researcher and author.
Yes. I just want to welcome my comrade, Comrade Muna Zulu. My heart bled really to hear of whatever he went through in prison, and whatever he went through is not something that can be wished on anybody. And I hope our prison facilities could do better, so that even as people go in those correctional facilities, they'll be treated as human beings and not what you really went through. I just want to comment on this thing so-called unity that you are trying to advocate for. Everybody really wishes to see that we have a united opposition, and you've picked on two brothers, Honorable Makebi Zulu and Honorable Brian Mundovile. But I think we have to get to a point where we have to state things as they are and call a spade as it is. You know, we are dealing with a country, and we need a leader. Okay, we need a leader. We're not looking for people that will take Zambia where it's not supposed to be. By this I mean we need a leader with integrity, a leader that will respect Zambians, a leader that we will also stand with and say, okay, Uyu, Eo. Why have I said we need a leader? I'll just give a quick example. But Brian Mundu, I don't mean to disrespect him. I respect him. He's a very good man. But if he can betray his own party, I don't think he's somebody we can trust with leadership. Brian Mundubile used to belong to the PF, and whatever happened, everybody knows that he came out of PF in a way that is, I can say, was not fairly wino. Okay? Can you Papa quite wanted to conquer PF in a way that was not good. Everybody knows. Balita sorry, Tabatamfia, but PF in a way that was unprecedented. And via join about Tonse. And now by Brian Mundwil, as we are talking right now, is a chairperson for Tonse. I want to state this. An illegality can never give birth to a legal outcome. We are dealing with a country. In as much as we want to say Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu have to unite, we have to differentiate to Mundubile and Makebi Zulu. Brian Mundubile wants to be the president of Zambia using illegal means. And this is not what we're looking for as Zambians. We want a president that will respect the constitution. Just before anything else, Brian Mundubile batobe funde. The party that put him there is the party he stabbed. Whatever Mingalato he has done, he has found himself and now he's busy calling the other people to join him. But Brian Mundubile ever assured the family where he belonged to. So how can he be the one calling the friends to join him? To borrow Honorable Makebi's words, I'll still say, but Brian Mundubile is a prodigal son. If we are talking of unity, Brian Mundubile should be the one to go and join his friends. He is the one to join his friends and not the other way around. If he was genuine, if he means well, if he wants to lead Zambia, he should be the one to go and join his fellow politicians, PF. What has made him go to Tonse, only him understands. Right now, we see him go now. He's trying to get in the structures of the PF and portray that he is on the ground when the people that he goes to are still the PF structures. Baba ku FDD twaishi bati ba Brian bali ya kutonsoko under FDD, which is their special purpose vehicle. But he's still using the PF regalia, PF structure, PF symbol. So nangumlefu okulanda pali unity. Ni unity ya shani mwalalanda pomwe bantu. Ni unity ya shani. But Brian Mundubile should go back where he belongs. Because you can't be talking of unity when my Brian is busy ukutoba. He's there in the PF structures. He's there in the PF structures. So unity to land but unity ashan. The person who has to go back to the friends is Brian Mundubile. If he cannot go back there, then there's no unity you can talk about. Let's remain with one person, and that person is Makebi Zulu. Because by Brian Mundubile, we cannot sanitize an illegality. We can't. Everybody knows how he moved from PF and found himself to Tonse. That was done illegally. And this is the person we want to be, to have as a leader. No, we can do better.
Thank you, my dear sister.
Before he's even chosen, as I close, Mwamba, if these things cannot be corrected now, what happens if this person is given now that big position as a president? Who have another HH as a president? Who have another HH? HH cannot respect the constitution. If Brian cannot respect his own constitution, what guarantee do we have that he's going to respect the Zambian constitution? If he cannot respect the constitution for the party he belonged to, what guarantee do we have that he will respect the Zambian constitution? As we are speaking, as we are advocating for unity, let's be objective and let's speak things as they are. Let's be truthful to ourselves. The only thing that can work, if unity has to happen, Brian has to go, Honorable Brian, sorry, I don't mean to disrespect him. Honorable Brian Mundubile has to go back to the PF. Other than that, there won't be any unity. He can't be the one calling the party where he belonged to. He can't be the one calling them to join him. I mean, this is an insult, if you have to ask me. This is an insult. He's a betrayer. He's a betrayer. You are wafuma mungande wambo kubati seni kuno nomba iseni kuno mungande where you belong wambo kubita. I mean, and as though that's not enough, he goes on now. He wants to go and get the structures of the PF, and you want to call for unity? No. As it stands now, Brian is there just to destroy PF, as it can be seen from the way he did Women's Day and Youth Day now. He's just going after the PF structures. If the Tonse Alliance has gone to really stands for, means well, and they want unity, Brian should not be going after the PF structures. But if he's going for that, he's not ready for unity. He's there to split votes. He's there to split votes. If Brian Mundubile means well, let him get back. We can't be talking of Brian and Makebi working together. Makebi belongs to PF. So you cannot separate Makebi from PF because Makebi belongs to PF. Brian should go back to PF. Thank you.
Thank you, Tandiwe. Tandiwe Keti Singoma, she's a writer. Hello, caller. You are our last caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. And Tamkwai Mwabombeni. Bamulenga kuchingola. Nimova last caller landeni po.
Mkwai bamakebi na wena twatotera bamakebi babwela maliro twalelila yonse bamwambelo twaletu mamafoni hapa twalela ndokute bamwamba itulela ndana imotaba mchino chalo cha Zambia mwaba outside chalo country nani nabambya babutukata poto abika pona batayali nango na bena bachinja vya fina nomba bantu beso mwalisho umuntu muvuye mwaikala na yena community muvuye mwaba bamusango filanga batayali ale umfwa emusango abataye bayikalira muna bene so twali bate accept nomba mulando abayishe kutaba bate accept batayali bali bateteka because bayiko chuvya sata lungu bali basungire umusango wabatayali bali beshibe nomba abayishire bati awe fule wafuma tuba kuba batayali lo twayisasanga natukwataba munine fwa bengi ngifu twalelanda bali bonsa bayika baka kwa muchifungo cha muchifungo bamakebi Zulu babala bafuma kumaka yakwalesa leso mwini twatotela bamakebi Zulu amashiwi bali balanda
Bamunia Zulu ni Bamunia Zulu
yes amashina yabo liwa MZ bonse abanomba bakula itaka tu aba MZ so amashiwi bali balanda ba mundipiri bamayo ba mundipiri ine panondi I'm 57 years now. It's true. Amashiwi ya umfuikire kuri lili mutambo. Daya umfuikire bwino. Abaropeni tu alilandile kwa bati. Amkoite ama candidate ya wa supporters. Ekenyu kubonjia umusalo kuma candidate banene. On that lili mutambo amashiwi abonveshe. Daya ya batishua. Lelo bamayo mungipiri tulelo mbolu sekuli imwe. Uwenga bafyashi. Misula limo isuma. Banduma ya ndomo mwapita no bantu baikala na beshuru mwasunga yengi ululu buli tulelo terwa muntu umo lwabantu abengi ngana mmone chale ngabantu abengi bakane okukakwa chiriro chaba bafyashi besu etika chagwalungu ili tulelanda Bamunia Zulu ngabachira mumuni chibale bukisha mwa banabo kwingira abena mpundu abatulelanda bena biliwe mpundu inochitanga bali mukali ati nomba makaya kwalesa pali bechiriro ichichiriro chali bakwati chali tukumbatirako ero kairi tuleta na spokesperson wasungirire bamayo kulya bamayo bana Esther P bana Esther Lungu na yena ali bomba Makebi Zulu because ngani bambivi tulelanda pamulandu wa kutemolo pia ngabu tuiki abafyashi nokwisa nendala not balelanda ati yo afuma kwa chef nevi no Makebi is doing fine kuli info ya bafyashi lelo tulelanda po bamayo ba mundipiri na bantu balanda bengi bonse ekeni tubikeni tubunze panga pamo tuchimfye chichiwani ichiyayisa muri chino chalo tubweshe tute stop democracy ababa nenzu wali maseozi apalinga bamwamba babutuka bajeje banda babutuka pamulandu wa kutavisho banani awe na bachuvya tayari bese Zambia tutambyo kuikala ngamu.
Thank you Abon. My dear callers, Mkwai.
Yes, ndefu kurekeresha. Bamunia Zulu twabipele iweki iya kuita Makebi Zulu na ba emnani ba mundubire muri yaye ne mageze aturiba fuaya bese bateka hospital bese balondolo nje balande po patisuma ifi bifyo batita bati apologize ifisume fyo batita bakonkanye pakutira tuyishibe bali abantu babiri ifyo twalabumbana be aya structure bale bumbya bonse abamwambana kali nalimya bepo aya structure wachiria panga ni maliko chirufya sana baidi kalungu batungirira bwino sana ababonza makandidate batatu kupita mweli tabadala besako tuyisunga vya structure abene bayisunga vye so titeni respect ama structures ngamwalambo kuta misuse ama structures mulandu wakumona tiri mimwangu watotundala mamishana shana ulefu ukona ula nishichalo na abantu bala bimona wangu bena Zambia na bachenjera twatotera mkwai.
Thank you very much.
We want change. We want change. We want change. We want change. Hey. We want a change.
Galentolu pule mulila pone. Ona kwa mulilia pone. Bakulu wa bakulu. Every youth.
The sound magician. Wi-Fi on the beat, boy.
Twakupele voting atawa bomba Twakupele voting atawa bomba Tawali mone voting atawa bomba Tawali mone voting atawa bomba Bantuno mwaka Uya bebele Twanakane mwe Mwachila mobufi Uya bebele Kakomwele numa Uya bebele Mwachila mobufi Mwalitula ile ona lebwati mukesa tupangira kwemisebo Wali mipele nevoti ati mukesa tupangira kwemisebo Nimwewo mwatile mukesa tukulila nechipatala ifwe Nimwewo mwatile mukesa tukulila na masukulu kuno Ukutula potwa kisalila ifwe Mwalitula baona lebo Imisebo ala ya jonaika Ichipatala takwaba kuno Abana besu basambilila mufimuti fya mango Bana mayo mapapira mungande Zipatala takwaba kuno Imisepila chose mbalo fwa Bapepa fye bange Fama lelilo mufunda tawafika Nembuto tashafika Ukutula potwa misalila ifwe Mwalitula baona lebo Ela imwe mulefu ya tumivotere. Twakupele voti ngata wabomba Twakupele voti ngata wabomba Tawali mone voti ngata wabomba Tawali mone voti ngata wabomba Pantuno mwaka Uya bebele Twanakane mwe Mwachila mobufi